Singapore is expected to use about 120,000 units of blood this year. That's about 24,000 litres. And they're coming from just 75,000 donors. That's less than 2% of Singapore's residential population. Singapore's blood stocks are currently healthy, but each time COVID-19 restrictions are tightened, supply falls 13 to 15%. To tell us more about blood donation in Singapore, we are joined by Prakash Menon, Director of the Blood Donor Program at the Singapore Red Cross, and Vanessa Mustafa, a blood donor of 10 years. Thank you both for joining us. Prakash, we'll start with you. What are some key areas of Singapore's blood needs, and how can we ensure that there's a sufficient and sustainable source for use, especially with donor numbers falling each time pandemic measures sort of get tightened?
Good evening, Steve. Thank you for having me in this segment. Maybe let me just share a little bit about our needs. So each year, right, we have around 30,000 patients in Singapore who require a safe and a steady stream of blood supply to survive and to also improve their quality of life. Right now, to meet these daily needs, right, we need to collect about 350 to 400 units of blood every day. Right now, this ensures that we are able to maintain a blood inventory of at least 6 days at all times to meet any urgent medical needs or emergencies in Singapore. Right now, so to do this, we can only get our healthy blood donors who contribute to this supply. Now, currently, as you pointed out, right, we have about 1.8% of Singapore's residential population who are blood donors. Now, less than half of them, about 42% of them who are donors, blood donors who are regular donors, which means, right, they donate blood at least twice a year, right? So these donors actually carry the burden of the national blood transfusion needs, right, in Singapore, right? And blood has a short shelf life, right? So about 6 weeks for red cells and 7 days for platelets, right? All blood groups are important to us because it enables us to provide patients with the most compatible blood for transfusion, right? So what happens, right, if it's incompatible blood transfusion to patients, then it may cause fever, chills, or low blood pressure, right? In extreme cases, it may even cause blood systems to fall, right? So we are very thankful to our donors for the constant support of stepping up and coming forward to give us blood. You see, the thing is that, right, Steve, I think what we need to know is that while we have had periods of low blood stocks, right, we have not had to turn away a patient needing blood transfusion. Not once. We've never been in this situation. And that's because we have a lot of donors coming forward. So we must do more to ensure the sufficient and sustainable supply of our safe blood in Singapore. So I urge donors, right, young healthy donors, to come forward and to keep donating blood. I think we need you to, especially this pandemic times. We, as you pointed out, when we have heightened alerts and all that, the blood levels do fall. But thankfully that with the partners we work with, and the blood donors, the regular donors that we have, they come forward and they really help us with it. So thank you. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And one of those regular donors is, of course, Vanessa, who's with us today. Vanessa, you have been donating blood for a very long time. What motivated you to donate and to continue as you do?
Actually, I started in 2008, so I was 24 back then. And I was just passing by the train station. I sort of saw the poster up to donate blood at a blood drive then. And I thought, why not? It's something that I could give to the society, and it would just take an hour of my time. So I thought it would be something that I could contribute. And when I went for my first blood donation at the train station, it was a simple process. They were all really nice. You just had to register your name, get your hemoglobin, iron level checked, and then do a simple medical checkup. And then after that, you donated the blood, and the whole process just took under an hour. The blood donation process itself, the drawing of the blood, that takes only between 5 to 7 minutes.
And Prakash, when it comes to blood types, does Singapore have one that they need in particular? O positive, perhaps, the most common?
Well, O positive is very common. I think more than 40% of the population are O positive. So yes, and it's normally very healthy, O positive. I think the ones that normally we're quite worried and concerned is the Rh negative blood types. Yeah, so when lesser people in general, right, have Rh negative in Singapore. So when that dips, we have our concerns. Yeah.
Prakash and Vanessa, thank you very much for joining us this evening and talking to us about this very important issue of blood donation. We've been speaking there to Prakash Menon, Director of the Blood Donor Program at the Singapore Red Cross, and Vanessa Mustafa, a blood donor of 10 years now. Thank you to you both.